And from that to ethics questions growing as scrutiny about the conduct of Supreme Court justices intensifies. Media reports continue to slam Justices Thomas and Gorsuch over real estate transactions. Now the Senate announcing a bipartisan bill mandating a code of ethics for the nation's highest court. Listen here.
I believe in the separation of powers, but that doesn't mean anything goes with the Supreme Court. They have to have a code of ethics.
After what Clarence Thomas did in terms of receiving very lucrative gifts and travel and perhaps thousands of dollars for purchase of his mother's home, the current system, whatever it is in the Supreme Court, is inadequate.
Let's bring in Shannon Bream, Fox News chief legal correspondent and the anchor of Fox News Sunday. It's great to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You were up at the zoo today with the bears.
I was hanging out with some bears. That is to come on Fox News Sunday.
Were you wearing that with the bears?
I did not, but I did wear the ponytail with the bears.
I love it.
I love it.
So Chief Justice John Roberts has said that he is not going to testify before Durbin's committee on this. But there's a debate out there that is this a legitimate investigation into ethics complaints of these Supreme Court justices? Or, like the leak of the Dobbs decision about this time last year, is this just an attempt by Democrats to intimidate and put more pressure on conservative justices and try to delegitimize the court?
Yeah, that was the take that Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell had on the floor this week. He said it's interesting that they always come after these specific justices. It's always the Republican appointees. But to the question of ethics, there's been this back and forth with Senate Judiciary Chairman Durbin and the Chief Justice saying, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not coming up there to testify. So you'll notice now there's a letter back from Senator Durbin back over to the Supreme Court to say, well, the last letter you sent us left us more questions than answers. So now we really need you to respond to these questions and tell us exactly how ethics are being handled at the court.
Yeah, I think critics already know how this would play out. I want to pull up the Carrie Severino tweet here, president of the Judicial Crisis Network. She writes, we don't know whose turn it will be, but I can name 3 justices it won't be, Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson, because this isn't about ethics. It's about intimidation. I mean, doesn't this open a dangerous door?
Well, you heard Senator Blumenthal, who mentioned a subpoena yesterday.
Yeah.
He's the one talking about separation of powers, and we all want to respect that as much as we possibly can. But you got to remember, the legislative branch also funds the judicial branch. So when they come and ask for money, it's the one time you'll often see them come up to court or to the Hill to actually have to testify. But interesting that yesterday or a couple days ago, the letter from the Chief Justice also had an addition to it, an attachment that laid out all of the ethical things they follow, the financial disclosures they follow, and all 9 of the justices signed it. So I think that was a real show of unity, that they expect that they can handle things internally, they say, and it doesn't seem to split along any, ideological or partisan lines up there.
You know, we have these organizations from outside the Supreme Court trying to give us the idea that there's division within the court and in between the justices, but almost
Doesn't appear that way.
To an occasion, they always come forward and say, no, we might disagree sometimes on matters of the law, but we're all together as colleagues. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her hyperbole on this has literally been off the charts. She tweeted, quote, barring some dramatic change, this is what the Roberts Court will be known for: rank corruption, erosion of democracy, and the stripping of human rights.
Well,
you can have your position on the rulings that come down from the courts, but is that what's going on?
Well, remember, just less than a week ago, there was this ruling from the Supreme Court late on Friday that kept mifepristone, one of those drugs that's the protocol for medicated abortions, kept it on the market. And then they were praising the court. Like, the court got this one right. They know what they're doing. So when they make decisions that don't match up with your ideology, it's easy to go after the court. But it's interesting how some of these folks less than a week ago were also praising the court for getting it right on that ruling.
Well, it's a messaging bill, right? I mean, we're heading into an election year, and this is going to go nowhere in the House, a Republican-controlled House. So a lot of this could just be, you know, to shore up the base.
Yeah, because there is this bipartisan bill now, if you can't count Angus King, who's independent, but caucuses, of course, with the Democrats, and Lisa Murkowski, Republican senator, who've come forward to say that they want the justices to be forced to write and commit to an ethics code. But if that goes anywhere beyond the Senate, if it gets through the Senate, I'll be surprised.
Yeah,
all right.
Me too.
Great to have you on board, Shannon.
Good to see you
We'll
guys.
see you on Sunday.
See you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.